He's down here hiding. He wants a biscuit. Biscuit. Come here. Come here. Hey, you don't get it if you're going to be a brat. He's hanging halfway off the sofa onto the floor. So we are here. He's thinking about it. And I got the hiccups. Thanks, beer. Here to do Oldman Funko's 250 subscriber giveaway. Congrats, dude. Woohoo! Anyway, he wanted you to make a video contest entry, and I had to write notes because I got a few giveaway videos I'm doing, so I had to write everything down because I'm tired and can't remember a darn thing. He wanted to know, like, what scared you as a child? Not too much. I saw The Exorcist when I was 4 years old, so not much scares me. But there was a few things growing up that I was kind of subjected to that were a little scary, I guess. The first thing, and I really don't remember a whole lot about it. I can still kind of see it in my head. It was stuff my mom had told me. Want biscuit? Come here. Come make an appearance. Before we moved into this house where I still live, we lived in some apartments. I was around 2 years old, and my mom kept saying, she told me that I kept coming out and telling her that there was a monster outside my window. But she said I didn't really act scared or anything. It was just like, I told her very matter-of-factly that there was this monster that was coming outside my window every night. And she thought, and I was probably crazy, just, you know, a toddler having bad dreams or whatever. But one night she just happened to walk in and check on me, and she saw what I was talking about, and it scared the hell out of her. But she just happened to look over, because I had a nightlight on, and she saw this face looking through my window. And she went outside and found out who it was. It was the neighbor kid upstairs. His mother was a prostitute. My mom knew who she was. But she was a prostitute, and she'd take off every night and leave this, you know, real young little boy at home. I think it was like, he had to be maybe under 10 years old. But she was leaving this little boy all by himself, and that's how he entertained himself. Was putting on a scary mask and peeping through people's windows. So, you still itchy? So, needless to say, my mom was not happy, and she gave little Miss Hooker upstairs a piece of her mind, and then it didn't happen anymore. But I think that scared my mom more than me. I just happened to, like I said, be more matter of fact about it. So, you know, I don't think it really scared me. I at that age, I was like watching the old black and white Universal horror films and stuff. That really bothered me too much. One time I definitely remember being scared was when I was in elementary school, and ever since I was I was in middle school, but ever since elementary school in first grade, I started reading Stephen King. I love Stephen King books. I mean, I was so little and I still loved his books. But I was maybe about 6th grade, 6th or 7th grade maybe. I think it was 6th, but maybe 7th grade. And I was reading Pet Sematary late at night. And that book freaked me out so bad. I mean, the film's good and everything, but the book really, you know, late at night, you know, the room's kind of just dimly lit, and you're reading that, scared the hell out of me. I was like, I'd hear like every little sound. I'm like, what was it? You know, so yeah. So I remember that distinctly. That one really got me. And then the other thing, and this was just what I grew up with. My mom was from West Virginia. I mean, like the hills of West Virginia, up in the mountains, you know, hillbilly hell, you know, up there in the Appalachians. And the area up there is like just so supposedly haunted. And my papa, that was my mom's father, I grew up hearing his ghost stories. And I spent a good part of my childhood and teenage years in West Virginia. And I seen and heard some really scary stuff. Me and my cousin went to this haunted school where even my mom used to go when she was a kid. She went to this school, and she remembered this story, and she had experienced this herself, that there would be no one in the hallways, and they'd be in class, and you could hear footsteps that would just pace up and down the hall, but nobody was in the hall. And there's been times that me and my cousin and his friends, which were cousins too, we were all related, the school was abandoned by the time we were in our teens and early 20s, and we would go hang out in this school, and you'd be in there, and you could hear someone calling your name, lights coming off and on. There was one time we were all sitting in my cousin Ray's car, and me and his friend Brian looked behind us, and my cousin was rolling a joint, and we were a little tipsy because we were out in the parking lot. The school's right down just right down the road from my cousin's house. And so my cousin's rolling a joint, and me and Brian just happened to look behind us, and in the school, in this window right behind the car, we saw this glowing face in the window, and man, we tore out of there in 2 seconds. I don't know why we kept messing with that place and hanging out over there, especially in the middle of the night. And we used to we'd hang out in those really old cemeteries, that there's people that have been buried there for a few hundred years. And I know there's it's a heavily populated Indian burial ground up in that area as well. Just a lot of crazy stuff, and it spooked me pretty bad sometimes. But I've had a lot of ghostly experiences that have happened in my life. So ever since I was a little girl, so I'm not too afraid of it. It can be unnerving, if anything. I know in recent years, right after my mother passed and I got back into my house, I was just laying down one night. This is before I had the dogs, but I was just laying down, and I was watching telly, and I had just turned the telly off, and I heard clearly in my mother's voice, because it was just like when she was yelling at me and she's mad, she would yell, "Candy Joyce," because Joyce is my middle name, and she's like, "Candy Joyce," and I shot straight up in my bed, and I think that has been the most scared I had been in a very, very long time. And that was really spooky. And I've had a lot of experiences like that. As far as my mother goes, since she had passed, I can smell her food. I can smell her perfume. And whenever I can get these smells, that area where it's coming from will get very, very cold. So, I know a lot of people don't believe in that kind of stuff, but I do, because that's how I grew up. I grew up in a very pagan New Age home where, the thoughts of ghosts and spirits and stuff is very, very believed. So, there's not too many things that have really scared me in particular, but there's just those few things sometimes that will just unnerve the hell out of you. And so, but that's really my experiences with ever really having anything scary happen. Nothing too major, but films don't scare me really. They might bother me in some way, but as far as being scared, nothing really scares me. So, but that's it. Congrats, Oldman Funko, on your 250 subscribers. But I think you've surpassed that by now. So cheers, mate. Bye.